Good morning, welcome to a morning review. This is Kim Watson speaking on Thursday, the 7th of April. Okay, looking at the euro dollar first, and we've had a bit of a move over the Asian session. You can see from the dailies we're already breaking the prior highs here. And it looks like the dovish sort of statements that were coming out on the Fed report yesterday was sufficient to fuel this sort of continuation move, although at the time and for quite some time people mostly ignored it. But perhaps people have woken up this morning or through the Asian session and read more into it than ever. However, as much as it probably is just as bad or worse in Europe than it is in the US, we're seeing the euro rally. So not a lot to be said here. I mean, it's just running off, and it could be one of those days which is difficult to pick trades. I certainly can't do anything while the market's running like this personally, and well, you start looking. The problem is you start looking at reversals in a market that's running through and just hitting a load of buy stops. So not a lot to be said about the euro. It's going up and already hit its R1 area. Daily pivot very unlikely to be caught. It's whether or not now really we can push up to the R2, but for now I can only sit back and watch. Now cable on the other hand is much more subtle in this whole ball game. It's not seeing quite the same reaction, and what we got here, nice hammer candle yesterday, and perhaps if we start seeing a break towards yesterday's highs, we could see a move back towards the monthly pivot. We've got obviously plenty of resistance beforehand, but things such as the 60.21 has already been hit. We've got the 200 above us, which, well, may provide resistance, although pretty flat. Coming down to the hourlies, and we're at the moment, to me, it looks like it could just still come down and catch this daily pivot. And then, well, we'll just have to wait and see what happens, whether it plays a bit of catch up with the euro, or, well, in which case, it may just take a bounce off the daily pivot. But again, I think if it starts breaking the highs here, draw a trend line, I would be more tempted to head towards trading towards the R1. But looking at what else is going on, take the dollar yen, it's made fresh lows here. So the yen is steaming ahead again, already down towards its monthly S2, which generally is it's held pretty tight, although saying that the monthly pivots themselves are quite tight this month. But we've had almost like a continuation down for, seems, a proper trend on the dollar yen. Already caught the daily pivot, the S1, almost down to the S2, which would obviously be the next target area if I was looking to go short. But I think it's difficult to see in this part of the morning when we've seen such moves through the Asian session. What may happen now, whether we just consolidate and slow up. We've got ECB's president speaking at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Situation of being Portuguese president. What more have we got? There's not a significant lot of data coming out until actually 10:30 this evening when Fed chairman speaks again. But I think she's already done her bit, so we'll see if she's due to participate in panel discussion at International House in New York. So. Again, we could see volatility through the early Asian session, but not a lot really apart from Draghi this afternoon. Then, excuse me, Aussie dollar, similar picture, pushing up high, and well, already into its R1 pivot here at the moment. It looks like that too could. If it edges beyond that, well, perhaps it may edge up to the R2. But resistance here with a weekly pivot and the R1 may just slow it up, we'll see. But not one to be stood in front of again. Canadian dollar, oil's been going up. a tad, and the Canadian dollar's coming down. Let's just look at the daily picture of what we got here. Inside bar yesterday-ish, selling off at the moment. Um, Again, looking at this, well, just slide the way it's sliding down at the moment. It's difficult to see where they're going to stop these markets in terms of and give us a chance to go with. But perhaps on the shorter time frames, they may give us some opportunities. But again, we're through the S1 here, heading straight forward towards the S2 at the moment. There seems well, certainly some momentum behind these moves, as we're probably squeezing short trades out and long trades out in the case of the Canadian dollar. Okay, as I say, not much else news-wise. I've just run through that. So have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye for now.